Congressman Allen West is joining me now. Congressman, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
You have called for the resignation of Eric Holder. Do you think it's going to happen?
Well, I would pray that it would happen. I would hope that we would have people that would step up to the plate and show some semblance of honor and integrity and character, because it is not just Operation Fast and Furious. It goes all the way back to February 2009 when Attorney General Holder said that America was a nation of cowards. We saw how poorly he handled the new Black Panther voter intimidation case, the fact that we see the Attorney General bringing lawsuits against sovereign states who are trying to live up to the constitutional responsibilities of protecting borders and securing their citizens from illegal immigrants in Arizona and Alabama. So I think that this is the coup de grace, and I think that it is either ineptness, incompetence, or outright misleading the Congress and the American people.
During the Bush administration, there was a lot of controversy over Attorney General Alberto Gonzales, and it had to do with the firing of some U.S. attorneys. There were calls for his resignation, and he eventually did resign. Democrats are saying this is retaliation, that it's not so much that Eric Holder has done something outrageously wrong, but that the Republicans are just trying to sort of pay them back for what happened to Gonzales. React to that.
Well, that's a horrible stance to take, because that's trying to use relativism. This is not about relativism. This is about someone doing something that was absolutely wrong. When you're the Attorney General and you have the Department of Justice, there's some semblance of standards that we are asking you to maintain. And the fact that an operation such as this, which put weapons in the hands of the Mexican drug cartels and criminals, and the result was many Mexican citizens dying. We're still picking up weapons across the border in Arizona on raids. And the fact that Border Patrol agent Brian Terry lost his life, someone has to be held responsible. And I guess that's what I was brought up in, my 22 years in the United States military, is that leaders take responsibility.
I want to ask you about the elective implications of this, because if Republicans sort of just let it slide, I'm sure the president would be thrilled not to hear about this anymore. But he's going into the middle of a very tough election season. If Republicans keep pressing on Eric Holder's conduct, and specifically on the death of Brian Terry, that is not something he's going to want. Are Republicans going to keep pushing for this? And in what way do you expect the president to respond to that?
Well, we're absolutely going to continue to push on it through hearings, and also as well as us, respective members of Congress, continue to bring this issue forward. I think it is very heinous that the mainstream media is not covering this. There comes a time when the media is going to have to stop trying to provide cover for this administration, being it Solyndra or the fact that the president canceled the Keystone XL project. But this is something that resulted in the death of an American, and someone has to be held accountable. And it goes right to the top with Eric Holder, and if it goes higher than that, then we need to investigate that as well.
Congressman Allen West, thank you very much for joining us. We're going to keep an eye on this situation to see, does the Attorney General at some point decide to take the level of responsibility? And perhaps the question is, will he do the president a favor and walk the plank? And that sometimes is always the case. Thank you again, Congressman. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show.
Yes, sir.